Hi, everyone, and today I want to talk about toxic money mindset. Okay, and I'm going to ask you a few questions and let me know if any of this, if you can identify with any of this. Okay, so have you ever wanted to quit your job with every fiber of your being and yet you worked overtime anyways? Have you ever waited years for a legal settlement but felt like the payout was no compensation for the lost time and suffering that you had? And have you ever fought so hard for alimony or child support that receiving money felt like a slap in the face? Okay. So, if so, then you know what it is to receive income and resent every single penny. Okay. And this is because the money you get from a source you despise is toxic money. So, no matter how much of it you get, you will never ever feel good about this. Okay. So, let's talk more about this. Toxic money is basically money that you begrudge. And usually it comes from a source that you once loved and appreciated, but there has been a negative shift in your feelings. So, like, the relationship, everything else in the relationship is soured, but the financial tie persists. And so, in this case, like alimony or child support, or it could also be a loan from your estranged parents, which they gave you to send your kids to a private school. Okay. Now, toxic money is usually associated with a prolonged battle that forces you to play small, to live by somebody else's rules, to stay wounded or sick or even broken. And it stops you from standing fully in your power. So, whether it is alimony, whether it is a cash settlement, or it is a regular paycheck, this money is toxic because it comes into your life through a painful process which makes you feel like a victim. Now, this kind of toxic money can be really damaging because it can make it more difficult for you to earn money elsewhere, and it can also be hard to keep whatever you earn. Okay, so this is toxic money. So when we actually think about toxic money mindset, there are two things that go into it. One is toxic money, which is what I was talking about, where you begrudge the source from which the money is coming. And the second part of it is having toxic money habits. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit more about what are toxic money habits, and you will be really, really surprised by this. Okay. So let me know in the comments below how many of you can identify with actually toxic money. So just write down toxic money in the comments, and then I'll start listing out the toxic money habits. Okay. So toxic money habits. Okay, what are toxic money habits? Toxic money habits are less to do with literal money, but they are some behaviors with your finances. Okay, now can you guess what could be one of the toxic money habits? Anybody wants to guess? Let me know in the comments what could be one of the toxic money habits. Okay, well, you guessed it. The first one and the most common one is actually what we call as retail therapy, like shopping away your feelings. So, when you're feeling bad, you do retail therapy. Just like sometimes, when you feel bad, you go and binge eat. So, here in this case, it is like, you don't want to look at your feelings, and so you do something called as retail therapy, where and in most cases you are relying on your credit cards rather than cash in hand. That is a first toxic money habit. The second toxic money habit is lying about how much money you have. Okay, so in short, toxic money any toxic money habit is any patterned behavior that is ruinous to your finances. Now, tell me, how many of you can identify with this? Yeah, okay, paying for things you don't want, but you did want it at some point. You went ahead and you did retail therapy, right? But you don't really want it, so that's a toxic money habit. Okay, so paying for things, retail therapy, using your credit cards rather than using the cash in hand, these are some of the toxic money habits. But you know what? I want to talk about one particular toxic money habit which you're going to find really, really interesting. And this toxic money habit, for most people, it is overspending. And we spoke about it. But did you know that under earning is also a toxic money habit? And in fact, there is something called as under earners anonymous. Okay, and just like you have alcoholics anonymous or drug anonymous, I don't know if you have it, but I'm guessing you do. So you have under earners anonymous, and if you type those names you will find it. And basically they have a 10 12 step program just like alcoholics anonymous have. Okay, now, under earning is not necessarily about money. It can be about a whole bunch of things. Okay. So, the most visible consequence is the inability to provide for one's needs, including future needs. But under earning is also the inability to fully express and acknowledge our capabilities, our capacities, and our competencies. Okay. And it is about underachieving or under being, right? Or, in other words, it is feeling less than, or all those feelings of I don't deserve, I'm not good enough, I'm not enough. All these are feelings which are coming from under earning. Okay, isn't that amazing? Like, it just blew my mind when I came to know that you have something like under earning, which is a toxic money habit. Okay, so in a few hours I will be doing an eliminate toxic money mindset workshop. And in this Eliminate Toxic Money Mindset workshop, I will be looking at two things. One is toxic money, which we spoke about in the beginning of this live. And the second thing is we are going to look at toxic money habits. Okay. Now, this is not like a mental kind of workshop, this is more of clearing kind of workshop. So, what we are going to do is we are going to look at the emotional charge around toxic money. We're going to look at the emotional charge around toxic money habits. And this emotional charge is what creates these patterns, which sets all this toxic money and toxic money habits in place. And then, once we identify what are your specific toxic money signatures, we are going to release it. I'm going to teach you some of the tools that you can use on a daily basis to release it. And it is in just a few hours today. If you Yes, it's also after helping someone with money, definitely, because if you loan someone money and then they don't return it to you, and then you know, you are trying to follow up with them all the time to get that money back, that is also toxic money because you're putting in so much effort and you're like, that is also toxic money. Yeah. So, if you would like to join the workshop, let me know in the comments. I'll give you the link. I'm also going to put the link in the description. And in case you do miss the live workshop, you can always get the replay as well at the same link. So, thanks everyone for hanging out with me. And let me know if you can identify some of your own toxic money, some of your own toxic money signatures, toxic money habits, and all of that. So thanks everyone, and see you in the workshop. Bye.